got another one. 40% of the toilet paper use in the United States was being used at work.
Yeah.
It wasn't being used at home. And this is why they ran out of toilet paper so fast, because the system was not designed currently. It wasn't optimized for people buying toilet paper at stores.
Right.
It was optimized for companies getting large shipments and putting them in their bathrooms.
Now, it would have made sense because these companies are going to be closed for months. Just give each staff member
Send everybody home with some goddamn TP.
a big roll of toilet paper. That big roll of toilet paper would last 2 months at home.
That big roll that's next
Oh,
to
the big one like this.
you need scissors
next
for.
That big roll that you just do like this.
Roll it like a wheelchair.
Wing. You could power your
Just
house
give
with
each a roll
that
of
thing.
toilet paper. Like my sister is in Houston and
Why don't we put electric motors on the roll of the toilet paper?
I don't know, because if
couldn't
you
that generate a little bit?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
like
they have
have
something like
it
that.
like the paper towel thing in the bathroom where you do this and go neat.
No. I'm talking about an electric generator.
So every time you spin
Every
it,
time you pull it and it spins just a little bit, it's sending some electricity to a battery.
all right.
Oh, you're saying
Preppers,
You're saying
holla at me.
Oh god, you're saying use toilet paper as a generator
Of electricity.
power. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then if you did it with your TP, your what's the big roll?
Paper towel.
Paper towel, and everything that you just rolled a little bit, it just generates.
So my
Anyway,
sister was
go ahead.
saying that in Houston, where she is, it's still difficult to find toilet paper. And she was freaking out. She's like, I only have 6 rolls. And I'm like, but it's just you. How long would that normally last you? And she's like, I don't know, a month or so.
Okay.
Because she works so much. She works like 12, 14 hours.
But she's not
a day.
working now, is she?
Yeah, she's.
Oh, that's right. She's essential.
I'm sorry, but a permit processor or I don't know what exactly her title is, but a person who sits in the office to process papers so that your home can be built is not an essential worker.
Especially since you can't build no homes right now.
You're putting your employees at risk if you make them come to work. Anyway, she was saying that they can't find toilet paper and she was worried because she only has 6 rolls. And I said, there's nowhere nearby, like no 7-Eleven or, whatever convenience store is near her. Shell station, nothing has toilet paper. She's like, no, every time they get a shipment of toilet paper, it's gone.
Because isn't she in Tejas?
She's in Texas.
Uh-huh.
And she said...
Isn't that part of the problem?
Yeah, she said she bought a 12-pack at the beginning of all this nonsense. And her neighbor, who has 3 kids, didn't have any toilet paper and couldn't find any toilet paper. And so she gave her a couple of rolls. And she's like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, yes, you should. You're one butt.
Yeah.
She's
And
got
also,
4.
you're not producing any more crap.
No.
Just
But
because
you're
you're
not
sitting at home.
No, but you are using it more at home when
Right.
you would have been at work.
Like our usage right now is double what it was when I was going to work. Because I would go to the bathroom at work and not at home.
Exactly.
And it's not like China where I have to provide my own paper.
Right.
So,
What else is on the list?
All right. I haven't even gotten to the list yet. All right. Number one most important thing on the list this week. Please. NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, PBS. I don't care who you are. If you got letters and a name, please
HBO.
stop covering the President of the United States. He is not news. Please stop covering him.
covering
Please
him is
start
going to get more people
covering
killed.
Only the experts. So when there's a thing, when he's talking, you guys just keep milling around and talking and waiting for the experts to come on. You can show his picture, just don't have any audio. Just let him sit up there. Yes, the president is talking. No one cares. It's not helping anyone. And then when he turns and he brings an expert up, then cut to them.
I found it interesting that was it the Chuck Todd cast? They were talking about how dangerous it is that he's being covered so much and how he only cares about ratings, and he's talking about how his ratings are going up during this time, and he doesn't really care about what he's saying, but that people are watching him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stop covering him. He thinks it's a show. He thinks it's a game. He thinks it's The Apprentice.
Yeah, I posted
He
that
just
thing.
fired someone yesterday, right?
The guy who, hold on, I got it.
Yes, he did.
Hold up, I gotta get the actual information. Trump fired Michael Atkinson, the intelligence watchdog, who handled the complaint that triggered his impeachment. The man was doing his job.
Right, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he's already firing people like he's on TV again as, Donald Trump, the all-knowing guy in the boardroom, which we now know is all false and it was all made up for NBC TV.
Yep.
And, just stop covering him. The best thing to do is honestly, the FCC should put out a rule that no one can cover the President of the United States. If he's not worthy of being covered. There's nothing that he has ever done on TV that was good since he's been president. Nothing.
True.
They chart the lies, they chart the misquotes, they chart the misinformation, they chart all this stuff, but they keep following him. Stop following him. If you're not in the press corps, good. Maybe all of y'all should leave. Because it would be smarter if you boycotted him as the president. Maybe he would start acting like a president. And if he doesn't, well, nobody would know it.
Well, I posted this thing last Saturday that said you wanted a reality show host as president. Well, now you're on Survivor.
I think the problem is he came into an office that had a certain gravitas when it came to the bully pulpit. But he has destroyed any credibility that was there in that bully pulpit. So now people stop covering him. And I said this. I said stop covering him back before he got elected.
Yes, you did. You have been saying it the whole time.
It was back then that you could hear he's not giving you good information at all. But his supporters were lapping it up. The best thing to do, stop covering him, stop covering Rush Limbaugh, stop covering anybody who is essentially detrimental to people's understanding of this particular epidemic and pandemic that's going on. Just stop. Because he's not helping the country. He's not helping anyone. That was number one on the list.
I have something that goes along with that. So someone posted in one of my travel groups, could someone who lives outside of the U.S. please tell me how they're reporting on what's happening in the U.S.? And a person from Australia replied that America has no safety net for sick people. There's barely any testing. Their president is killing people. In New York, the New York governor is shown a lot. New York City is a hellscape. And a general mood among various social circles is thank God we don't live there. We'd be in medical debt. Ireland pretty much said the same thing. Germany said the same thing. In France, they are reporting how the U.S. stole off the tarmac 1 million face masks that had been purchased by France for their hospitals by offering 3 times the amount. The next day, 1 million masks arrived in New England on the New England Patriots plane. This also happened to Germany. the U.S. government confiscated 200,000 masks that were going to Germany that had already been paid for. When they landed in Thailand, the U.S. government seized the shipment and sent it back to the United States. And the German director of medical emergencies said that it was modern day piracy. So all over the world, people are talking about how Trump is failing, how dangerous the United States is, how stupid the government is being about all of this.
Frank said that this morning.
And how they need to do a national stay-at-home order. Someone had said on a post about staying at home, well, China did it by just telling people to stay home, and I was like, and they listened. And I said, no, that's not how China did it. And then I went through, China told them they cannot leave the house. If you leave the house, then you're going to be arrested and put in prison. They also made sure that there were medical people checking temperatures of anyone who left the building. They had to have a certificate saying that they could go out that day. If they didn't have their certificate, they could be arrested. Only one person per household per day could leave. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they did in China that Americans would lose their shit over.
Oh yeah, you couldn't do it in a place,
Because
and that's the problem.
Oh, I saw this morning about one state was putting what are the ankle bracelets?
Ankle bracelet.
No, the ones for the inmates when they're on probation or parole or whatever. They are putting those on people who test positive for COVID-19 and refuse to stay indoors. And someone said, "Oh, watch out, your civil liberties are being taken away." And I'm
yes,
like,
they will be.
Duh! You're a walking petri dish. You are infecting others every time you breathe.
That's right.
And you are refusing to stay at home and protect the people around you.
But we knew this. They were talking about this very early on. That they kept saying, China can do this because of the way that their society is organized. We can't do this in the United States, in France, in Spain, in Mexico. You can't do this like this because of what we think of as our rights and liberties as citizens of our countries. We will not stand for it, even if it's better for us.
Yep.
And it's just like, I saw a picture of one of the guys from my high school. They were having a happy hour, and they were all like 6 feet away from each other, sitting outside. It's like, yeah, it makes for a funny picture, but that's what we will do. We will find out what is it that we're supposed to do. You need to stay 6 feet away from everybody. Okay. Now, that means I can still go outside. That means I can still go do stuff. I just need to stay 6 feet away from people. You see? I mean, it's like even the people that will follow the things will find ways to get done whatever it is they need to get done, that it doesn't impinge on their idea of their personal rights.
Yeah.
And that's just living in Western countries. I would suspect most Western countries, that's how people think. So when they see places like China that just says, you're gonna go to jail if you come out the house, and they mean it, or Duterte, who wants to just shoot motherfuckers.
Yep.
Come on now. It's not like a thing that we think of as something that's part of our society, but in other societies, it absolutely is.
Well, in India, they have these big long bamboo canes, and if they see somebody out on the street, they don't even say anything. Whoopings. They just start beating the shit out of them.
Whoopings.
Frank said that at a lot of places they just had a bunch of people with like brooms and poles and stuff that would beat people back.
That's what I'm saying. Just
if someone was out there if someone was out there without a mask, they'd just start beating people.
When you think about it, it makes more sense to keep people away from other people. Now, how do you do that if you don't have compliance from your citizens?
Right.
You see, and in China they can just say you will comply, because if you don't, you're gonna take this ass whooping. You know, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us in almost all those podcasting places. So keep that in mind going forward. But you can also find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest. What are we doing on Pinterest anyway?
I pin travel tips for like.
Can I just put an X through that?
No.
Just YouTube,
Facebook,
iTunes.
I also upload our YouTube videos to Pinterest.
Really? Does anybody watch on Pinterest?
No, it's just it ends up being a link.
So it's not a player.
No, it's not.
They can't play it from
no,
like you can on YouTube or on Facebook.
I think if it's a certain link, then it links it to the thing.
Yeah, I noticed that on my
I just haven't
photos.
uploaded lately.
My A-Train photo, daily photo. Y'all should be on that. That Twitter doesn't show the photo.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It just shows a link too. It's
It
like,
used
then
to
why,
show.
why
It
am I
used to
doing
show.
this?
It used to show. It doesn't anymore.
No, it doesn't.
That ain't
That's why
right.
I stopped posting to Twitter.
But then why?
I don't
Wait.
use Twitter
Why are
anymore.
other people's photos on there then?
Because they post them there.
So they're just
They
posting.
post and post.
They're not posting
A link
from-
to Twitter. No.
from Instagram.
Right. They're not linking it through Instagram.
So,
they're just posting and posting.
YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and the Google Podcasts, and all those other podcasting places. The Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farrs, and the email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space where you can find all the back episodes, all the things we post, all of Karen's helpful information about travel, all of the everything.
And working abroad, if that's what you choose to do.
The travelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. That's all I got.
Great.
I got nothing else.
If you're listening to the audio only, go to the YouTubes because there be funnies.
There be the funnies. There's not a whole lot of funny here.
Sometimes
I noticed-
it's funny here.
No,
Well,
we don't do
I
anything
think-
funny. You
right.
add the funny.
But
in
see,
later.
the doing of the funny would be no good in Blueberry.
Oh yeah, no. It would.
Outside of somebody saying something funny, you're just getting audio only.
Right.
But the video. So listen on Saturday to the audio. Then when we start posting the shows on usually the following week or the week after, then you can watch the funny.
Right.
And then you
the
can
funny is happening.
then you can love
all
all
women. Oh, your representation of it is like very small when he
all.
did it much longer.
Alright. Karen, are you done?
Yeah.
Aaron, are you done? Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people. Bye, people. Bye, people.
Peace!